Hey everyone, and welcome to me making this puzzle right here. And let me show you my smiling face first. Okay, I'm not great with the camera or whatever, and I'm bad at panning, so I'm just not going to do it. And let me get right into the puzzle. Let me set this up so you can see it. Okay, so I usually don't say anything when I'm doing puzzles, but in this one I'm going to try to talk because I heard or I saw, or like the YouTube videos the YouTube videos where I watch and people talk are much more interesting than the ones where there's nobody talking, so this is all an attempt for me to be interesting. Oh, and the very first thing that I do, I should probably talk about my method a little bit, is I turn over every single one of the puzzle pieces. That uses a lot of board space, and so I always try to get a big board. Oh, and like if I'm doing a gigantic puzzle, you can't actually do that. But 1,000 pieces, 500 pieces, this one's 300 pieces. Those are all pretty easy to turn over with everything. So that's the very first thing that I do. And while so that's what I'm doing right now, is just turning everything over. So the reason I'm talking, and like I said, usually I do my puzzles totally quiet or without saying too much, is that oh, what was I saying? I think I was explaining why I'm talking and why it's tough for me to talk, but that's also like part of my challenge on this, so it should be good for me, and hopefully it's good for you. Okay. Oh, so anyway, if you have a big enough table, it's pretty easy to flip over all the pieces, even for 1,000-piece puzzles. Anything bigger than that, well, I guess 1,500-piece puzzles, if you have a decent-sized table, then it's not a big deal to flip over all of the pieces. But I really like that because, like, that's one of the easiest ways to speed up your puzzle doing, is to just flip everything over, because a lot of times, like you waste a lot of time saying, oh, I need to find this piece, and then you have all the pieces in here, and like most people spend like 90% of their puzzle making just going like that. So I just decided to get rid of all that and only and just flip over all the pieces. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this, the next thing I do, actually, when I'm not talking, I can focus on this more. When I'm not talking, I'm flipping them all over and then finding the first color that I'm going to put together, which is usually red. I really like red barns, red whatever. So like pieces like this, I'm usually like putting in a pile over here somewhere so that I can put them all together. But like I mentioned, I'm a little bit distracted because, oh, and where's the red's just the very bottom part right here. Oh, and so the thing everyone tells you is put the borders together first, and that's like really good beginner advice, but I never actually do that. So actually, one puzzle, a round puzzle, and this wasn't because I did it on purpose. It was just because the puzzle was really, really hard, and especially the edge pieces. So on one puzzle I did, the very last piece I put together was an edge piece. So anyway, you don't have to put together the edge pieces first, but they're the easiest. So what I usually do when I'm doing a puzzle with somebody else is I will put together, or I'll put all the edge pieces and put them in front of the person who is the least experienced with doing puzzles, and then that will and then that's so anyway, most people don't really like doing puzzles, so my biggest goal when I'm doing puzzles is to make it fun for everybody else, and that's a challenge, especially if you're with a whole bunch of puzzle haters. So I always try to do everything I can to make it really, really fun. Well, or I guess it's impossible to make it really, really fun, but to make it fun enough so that people don't run away when you're doing a puzzle. And so I guess I should tell you why I'm doing this puzzle challenge. Why am I putting together this puzzle? The reason I'm putting together this puzzle is because somebody asked me to make a 2-hour video, and I thought, and I'm saying it like they asked me to make the video, but they didn't actually say, "Hey Joseph, I love your YouTube channel. My request is to make a YouTube video that's 2 hours long." Even though that's how I took it, because I thought it would be a great idea. So, and this video is obviously not 2 hours long. I just got this camera, and the SD card in it is only about. As far as my method, the next thing I'm doing is picking yellow, because that's the next most common color, and it looks like it's this guy's tie. So, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Something about my method, something about, I do not remember. Okay, so the next color, the next most common color or interesting color, but it looks like there are only like 2 of these, are this thing right here, this like brownish color. 3 pieces. I found another one of these things. Oh, and then also purple, like dark purple. So after I started doing this, and puzzles are almost impossible to find in Thailand. They're really, really hard to find in Thailand. And everyone says, "Oh yeah, puzzles are easy." I just saw a whole bunch over at this place. So, but what they're actually thinking of is last Christmas, when whatever store had a puzzle sale and accidentally ordered like way too many puzzles, and then did this discount, and then it looks like and it's one of those things also, like I really like Deborah Tannen, and she explained that about the phenomenon of women that talk too much, and also, like, I think correspondingly, she talked about how men can talk too much, or that like a man might accuse a woman of talking too much, and then the woman is thinking, wait a minute, but you're talking way more than I am. It's only you that is like, I after I said like 5 words, like literally, then you accuse me of talking too much. And so Deborah Tannen breaks that down and explains that the whole thing about talking too much is that whenever someone is saying something that you don't want to hear, then it seems to you like it's way long. So even a sentence or two can trigger you thinking, okay, you're talking too much if you don't want to listen to that person. So I think it's the same with jigsaw puzzles. I don't think they're as bad as math, but a lot of people just don't like, sadly don't like jigsaw puzzles, even though I think they're awesome, and I obviously really like them. But oh, and let me see. Yeah, actually, I don't know how long this video is going to last, because my it looks like the battery's halfway empty, so hopefully it doesn't run out on me. And I only have about an hour of recording time on my SD card, because this is a new camera. So I'm just testing this out. So I hope that I'll be able to finish this, or at least come close, or maybe do like part 1 of 2, and then come back and do part 2 or whatever. But and it's interesting because me talking, I'm usually a lot faster at putting these puzzles together than, but like I said, I'm trying to be entertaining, or at least not boring, or at least like say something as I'm making the puzzle. Okay, so oh, and I'll probably mention this sometime else, but my whole goal in doing my YouTube channel is that this is more like a dream. Like if I could get anything for Christmas, what would I get? And the thing that I think would be really cool is to have a YouTube channel popular enough that it helped me justify hiring somebody like Joe Rogan has, who just so I don't know if you watched the Joe Rogan podcast, but there's this guy off screen that all he basically does is like search the internet the whole time, looking for interesting stuff to help Joe talk faster, better, etc. So he has like this assistant on the back in the back room somewhere, who is just like researching stuff, and then Joe sees on a screen all the interesting stuff that the assistant puts up and says, oh yeah, I want to talk about this, and it makes it interesting and fun, and everyone loves Joe Rogan. So anyway, I want that's my goal, is to get popular enough so that I can justify doing that. And you might say, well, why don't you just hire somebody right now? And I only get a few views on every video, so I really can't justify that quite yet, even though it would be really, really cool. So I think I mentioned this already, but I'm going like way, way slower than I normally do just because I'm trying to talk. Oh yeah, I already said that. So, and I'm gonna try and not repeat myself, even though I am probably gonna repeat myself a lot. And if I don't repeat myself, I'm gonna talk about repeating myself, and hopefully you guys think that me talking about repeating myself is interesting. Okay. And then, okay, the white, okay, purple, there's purple, purple, and then white is connected to the purple. Oh, so this my camera only has about it's a 16 gig memory card, so that is that equals an hour of whatever frame rate that I'm using, and so so hopefully I'm able to finish this in under an hour, and if not, then I don't know what I'll do, but oh, and actually I really should have started this with a 100-piece puzzle. I was mentioning to somebody that I was mentioning to somebody that my recommendation on how to start doing puzzles is start out with really small ones. They started out with a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I'm not sure what the actual numbers on this would be, but smaller puzzles are way, way, way easier than bigger puzzles. They become exponentially bigger the more pieces you have in them. And okay, and so these borders are really easy. I don't know if you can. Okay. So anyway, my strategy is always to do the easy parts first, and then hopefully by the time I'm done, then there won't be any hard parts left, except for usually there's oh, and I also always pick puzzles by, like, I pick the puzzles to do by which ones are which ones I think are the easiest. Because I like doing puzzles, and I like doing them fast, and like having insanely difficult puzzles to me isn't any fun. Oh, and I guess if you pick easy puzzles, then you do them really, really fast, and then you have the problem of that you're spending like hundreds of bucks a month on a hobby that shouldn't be costing you all that much money. So anyway, I love the dollar, or I was going to say the dollar store. The dollar store has some good puzzles, but they're all really tiny and flimsy. And I love like thrift stores, getting puzzles at thrift stores. That's the best place, or garage sales, because a lot of people buy puzzles, but not many people actually put them together. Oh, and then on the back of, and I didn't do it here. Oh, and I should mention that this is the second time that I put this together, and also there's a piece missing, so hopefully you guys aren't the kind of people that are like, oh, I'm so disappointed there's a piece missing, because like oh, I didn't say that, but I don't care if there's a piece missing or not. I just like putting them together, and so yeah, and I used to put together a whole bunch of puzzles, but in Bangkok they don't have, it's really hard to find them, so I don't have a giant table in my condo here, so I haven't done very many puzzles. One of the things, and somebody's probably saying, oh, well, you can get puzzles on Lazada, and I actually just realized that and started looking them up. A lot of the Lazada puzzles ship from overseas, and so yeah, I'm not sure why. And Thai actually has a word for jigsaw puzzles, so it's kind of weird that there's a word for it, but they're like impossible to find, and I don't know how to say jigsaw puzzle in Thai, but that would be cool if I could tell you that. So let me see. Oh, and yeah, I'm realizing I should have started out this test with a 100-piece puzzle, because that would be a much better test. Oh, and this is now I'm doing the greens. Yeah, and so I almost never do the border pieces first. These and I can't remember if I actually said this, but these borders are much easier and better. Or these borders have an interesting pattern on. So like and what is that? I can't. Oh, it's the one around the top and the bottom and the side. So the one. So that will work. Okay. And I'm thinking about putting the faces together, but I think usually I pick like a section, not a section, and try and do all of that, not like a type of not like a type. So I usually wouldn't do the faces first. Oh, and one other thing is that I'm trying to make good sound in all my videos, and so one of the things I realized is that my air conditioning is just like humming in the background when I make a video. So I have been turning off my sound to make video, or sorry, I've been turning off my air conditioning to make videos, and so it's getting a little bit hot in here. So hopefully I don't sweat on the puzzle. Oh, and did I mention that I think there's a puzzle piece missing? Oh, and the thing I was going to tell you is what I recommend for puzzles is before you donate them to the dollar store, after you put them together, then write on the back here how the date you did it, and then how many pieces are missing, or if it's complete. And that's actually super helpful, because for people like me, I think, oh hey, there's one piece missing. It's a cool puzzle. I'm not gonna. I don't care if there's a piece missing anyway. So yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that puzzle. Or if you're putting it together for something else, then it's like if you're gonna put it on, put your puzzle on, glue it on a board or something like that, then it's really nice, if you're shopping at the dollar store to, and hang on, I'll be right back. So hopefully this puzzle is entertaining enough while I'm gone. Okay, and let me see. So with puzzles, I usually do like 500 or 1,000 piece puzzles. Those ones are interesting. 300 pieces are usually too small, but 27 minutes. So I have a half an hour left before my video shuts off. So I think we're okay. It's not time to panic yet. And the last part usually goes pretty fast. Actually, I'm thinking this will probably take like an hour and a half. So it would have been really great if I had got a bigger SD card first, because then I could actually make the 2-hour video. And so since this won't actually be a 2-hour video, then I'll need to make another video that's longer. Okay. Oh, and the interesting thing is that I've seen a lot of time-lapse photos of people doing puzzles, but I haven't actually seen anyone doing a puzzle, or a video of anyone doing a puzzle. So I don't know if they don't exist, or if my cursory YouTube search didn't, like if I wasn't thorough enough in my YouTube search, or what actually happened. So I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just because puzzles take hours, and nobody has actually. So I didn't even find like 100-piece puzzles, which are pretty easy to put together. Oh, and I keep trying to make this point, is that 100-piece puzzles are like 10 times easier than a 10 to 20 times easier than a 300-piece puzzle. A 300-piece puzzle is about 3 to 5 times easier than a a 300-piece puzzle is about 5 times easier than a 500-piece puzzle, and then a 500-piece puzzle is probably about 3 to 5 times easier than a 1,000-piece puzzle. because the bigger the puzzle pieces, then the... Okay, so my my battery ran out, so now I know more of how this is going to work. So it should be enough time to finish this puzzle. So I'm guessing the total time is gonna be about an hour and a half. Before I thought it would be about 40 minutes, but I didn't realize how much I'd be slowed, or how much I would slow down with talking. And here we go. So let me see. Okay. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, I put the purples over here. Okay, so yeah, the camera that I got, the whole I'm trying to let me move this over here because I think that'll work out better. Okay, so the camera that I got, it's a Canon G7X. Canon G7X, and the reason I got it is the videos I was taking on my phone, the audio was out of sync, and so I just got really frustrated. I was thinking about buying an iPhone because nobody with an iPhone has that problem, and then I realized, oh, I can just get a camera, like a camera video recorder, and then the audio will be in sync. And actually, because you can't actually see my mouth, and I can't actually tell with this video if the audio is in sync or not. So I guess I could have done this with my Pixel, since this doesn't matter if the audio is in sync or not. So yeah, when I'm doing a puzzle and what I try to do is like look at all the pieces and then try to remember where they are, and just like kind of put them in places where I can remember them if I get to them, like say, oh hey, where's the rest of this eye? Oh, this is upside down though. Where's the rest of this eye? And so while I'm doing the puzzle, I'm always kind of like organizing it a little bit better, a little bit different. And oh, one of the things I did this puzzle. It was a really hard puzzle, and like all the pictures were the same, or it was something, and I had this epiphany kind of. Now I forgot what the epiphany was. But so I'll just go back to organizing the greens. And if you haven't noticed, I often forget what I'm talking about. Oh, the thing that I wanted to say is the thing that inspired me on this, and kind of depressed me at the same time, is I was talking to I was talking to this guy that is this like famous vlogger, or no, it's whatever. He plays video games for a living, so he like live streams video games. And so I was asking him like what makes him successful, because I always want to figure out what makes different people successful at different stuff. And he told me that the whole that like 100% of success in his industry of live streaming is the ability to basically like talk to yourself, or the ability to talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'd been talking to this guy for a while, and it was like an hour or an hour and a half into the conversation when I asked him that, and then I realized, whoa, this guy's been talking nonstop like this whole time, and he never actually stops. And I never noticed it, because he was a really, really interesting person. And anyway, I think that he's right. And the interesting thing to me is he said that he comes from a family of like 6 kids or 7 kids, and all of his siblings are brothers. And so when he got successful on live streaming, he wanted to, or all of his brothers said, oh, well, I play video games, I want to do that too. And he said that he's the only one of all of his brothers that's successful at it. All of his other brothers tried it, and they totally failed. And he attributed that to that he's the only one that can like talk nonstop without shutting up. And so anyway, I thought that's at first I thought, oh, well, I can't ever do that. I always, well, like my default behavior is to think through what I'm going to say and then say it. And so I was so at first I thought, oh, I'll never be able to do that. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll try it with doing YouTube videos, because there's like 2 ways of doing YouTube videos. One way is to really edit everything and to plan it out and then to do it, and then the other is just to start up and going. And so so I thought that was really interesting that all of his brothers tried and all of his brothers failed, and he was the only one in his family that could do live streaming and make money off of it. And so while I'm doing this, I'm like forcing myself to talk, because usually I would just not actually do anything, and probably I'm not great at this initially, but maybe I'll get better and figure out how to say interesting stuff. So anyway, that whole thing changed my life from, well, or at least changed my perspective on things, and that's why I'm trying this. And You know, maybe I should have started with a 100-piece puzzle. Because it could be that I don't actually realize how long these puzzles are taking, and I'm just thinking that they're taking, it's taking longer because I'm and yeah, so maybe it's not actually, maybe I'm just always slow with jigsaw puzzles is what I'm saying, or trying to say. But hopefully not, because that would be depressing. Okay, purple. Chin and oh, I should do the hair. Yeah, so the hair is there are only a few hair pieces. So the other thing I think that's interesting is I don't know if I'm fast at puzzles or not. All my friends say I'm fast at puzzles, but they're well, I know there are lots of people that are much faster than I am, but and so anyway, one of the things that's nerve-wracking about this is what people's reaction is going to be, because well, I guess that okay. And I'm realizing that I should think of something else to talk about, because if I'm talking about like my method, it's I try to like do whatever's fun and then like stop when I find something else, and then that helps to keep me thinking about a whole bunch of different things all at the same time, which I think helps me to do puzzles faster. So anyway, I think my point was talking about my method might not be the best way to give you guys some something interesting because I'm basically just jumping all over the place as I'm doing this. And this is his arm. Oh, and so one of the things I noticed is that in some puzzles, then and I guess it's kind of like I switch things up every once in a while. Like sometimes with this box, I'm not looking at it too much, but with sometimes I look at the box a ton because just based on the puzzle, and I really like puzzles that if I have like a piece like this and then I stare at the box, that I can figure out, okay, well, like this piece is his underarm right there, and so I really like puzzles like this, where every piece, like, if with enough dedication, then you can find that, because in some puzzles are really complex, and so with those, then I like map it out and say, okay, well, here this goes here, and with those kind of puzzles, then I'm using the box a lot. But I haven't in this one, and actually I think I mentioned, oh yeah, I did mention this, that it's been a long time since I've done puzzles. I used to do a lot in Utah, but in Bangkok, then I haven't really done very many puzzles. And like even the game stores don't like, I think most game stores, like game hobby stores in the US, sell, like, at least have like 2 or 3 puzzles, but and they have a bunch of like board game cafes here, but none of them, like 0 of the probably like 6 or 7 board game cafes that I've been to so far in Bangkok don't have, or none of the board game cafes that I've been to in Bangkok have any puzzles. So it's just super sad for puzzlers. So yeah, instead of folks saving the elephants over here, or yeah, I was going to make a joke about charities, but probably jokes about charities aren't very funny, so I'll just pass on that. And yeah, so anyway, I think, like, usually I'm pretty fast, but I either feel like I'm really slow, or or like I keep saying, when I'm talking, I am putting the puzzle together slow. And so I was, like, when I was kind of pre-thinking through this, I was going to talk about all these ways of, like, hey, I'm super fast and awesome, and this is why I'm fast, and this is why I'm good. But if this is like a slow, if I'm doing it slow, which I can't tell, am I fast or am I slow? And this is regular speed, not super sped up, so I can't. So anyway, I most of what I had planned of saying, oh well, hey, I'm good at this, and I'm good at this, and I'm good at this, I don't think I should do that until, well, maybe my second puzzle that I do like this, if people like it. Oh, and so one of the things I noticed with people that get really frustrated with puzzles is what they'll and like the difference between me, who loves puzzles, and someone who hates puzzles, is, or is what they'll do is they'll find like one interesting piece, and let me see if I probably already put together all the interesting pieces. Oh, like they'll look for a piece. So see how this is missing like whatever shade of purple this is. So there's like one piece that's missing that shade of purple. So what people do that get frustrated with puzzles is they just look around for that one piece, and they're like, oh, I think there's a piece missing. And then they look, and then they look, and then they look, and then especially stuff like this, like sometimes because of the cut of it, then there's no actual like purple side on it, or it looks a lot different than it is. So I try to never get into that trap of saying, oh well, I know this piece is somewhere. Where is this? So I try to spend 0% of my time looking for individual pieces, and that helps it be a lot more fun for me. And then this guy is way up here. And I was thinking of doing this, and now that I've said that, I'm totally wondering where this piece is. And that's this guy's tie. Interesting. Oh, and then usually I stand up and like walk around the table. I don't know how that would work with this, because I'm like I mentioned, I'm trying, or the thing I'm obsessed with but not very good at is getting good sound, and so. So, if I stood up and walked around, then I am afraid that my sound wouldn't be great. Oh, and I thought these two didn't go together, but it looks like they do, which is interesting. Oh, so yeah, one of my ideas was to do this upside down, and usually I can do that so that you can see the puzzle like taking shape. Taking shape the right way instead of me like turning it around, and maybe anyway, I have this idea for how to do this better, which is to have to have two cameras that kind of rotate. One camera's on my face, like when I'm talking, and then the other camera would be like over the table, so it would basically go around like this, so you can kind of see different parts of the puzzle as it takes shape. But now that I'm thinking through that, it might be kind of cool. So anyway, with all my videos, and I guess I do this on like Facebook posts too. I think about them for a long time usually, and then I and then I do them. Right now I'm horrible at video editing, and so I always try to do one take stuff. Like I just got. Well, I want to be able to like splice stuff and do like an intro to my YouTube channel, but that's like way beyond me at this point. So hopefully I'll. Okay. So this is right here. Oh, so with my favorite puzzles are White Mountain puzzles, but the only I should tell you why they are good. They're good because they're consistently high quality. They sent me a couple puzzles to review. I was a big time Amazon reviewer. I think it was reviewer number 187 or 100. I was in the 180s, and Amazon ranks all the reviewers of the 40 million, or there's probably more like 60 million people that have written at least one Amazon review, and so Amazon tracks where you are as far as ranking compared to the rest of the millions of people that have submitted at least one Amazon review. And at my height, I was reviewer number 187. And so White Mountain sent me a couple puzzles to review, and that was like the coolest thing that I reviewed. And I got a lot of really cool stuff, like premium high-end electronics, and a couple like experimental memory foam mattresses, and but I really like White Mountain puzzles, and I think I've bought probably like 20 or 30 White Mountain puzzles. So the only thing I don't like about White Mountain puzzles is that they have a pretty limited die shape. So they basically cut all their puzzles with the same die, and so if you do like 1 to 10 or 1, 2, 3, 4 White Mountain puzzles, it's not a big deal. But if you're like me and would really like to do like all of the White Mountain puzzles, then it gets to be kind of annoying that you're using the same the exact same puzzle but with different pictures. So anyway, I hope that they fix that, and that they have more than one die shape. And I know those things are expensive, so. And they started as kind of like an indie. I don't know. Maybe they're. But anyway, they. I don't know how big they actually are, but they have like a smaller company feel, and in a good way. Okay, so my camera shut off, and I think that the maximum, it said something about maximum recording time, and it looks like that, okay, that's his tie. So it looks like that the most, time that we can do is a half an hour at a time, so I'll try to watch out for the half an hour point, and then hopefully it's not as jarring a transition as that last one. Okay, here, and then is this all? Oh, that's all her hair. Huh. Oh, so that's upside down. Okay. Oh, and I have no idea who Lupin the Third is. I don't watch. I don't really watch anime. It's really cool, but I've only seen a few anime episodes, so I don't know which one that is. Oh, faces are interesting because, like he's the guy with the big eyes. Aha. Oh, so faces are interesting, like these. Just with like these three pieces, it would totally seem like they would fit together, but they're missing this one right here in the middle, and so with these three in the middle, then they finally fit together. So like that's one of my techniques too, is that especially with faces, then like and I do this when I try to draw, as I put the eyes in the wrong place, and not like the eyes in the wrong place, but that my perspective's all messed up when I try to draw. So that's why I think artists are awesome, because I've dabbled in making some art myself, but everyone else's art is always awesomer than mine. So that's one of the reasons I think artists are cool. And so it's interesting. I thought that as so that's the top of her head. So I was thinking that as I was doing this, that I would come to a realization of, oh, so that's why people don't do this. But so far I haven't figured out why I can't find any videos of people putting together puzzles on the internet. My best theory is I didn't try very hard. But it's also my least exciting theory. Oh, and there are lots of like time lapse videos, but no like puzzle videos. That is weird. I didn't think that. So anyway, I didn't think her ear would have been right there. So I think that I do stuff mostly by like shapes and looking for like the edge. And where's the top of her head? Oh, right here. And oh, that's all the way over there. So I only have a few pieces in like where they actually are. Like positioned like that. But I think usually when I'm doing a puzzle, then I do more of that like layout where things are. I'm trying not to move things around too much because I think that if I move things around, then it well again I don't know much about audio, and I'm trying to figure it out, and oh, so anyway, this piece, I don't know if you could tell, but this piece was bugging me that it wasn't like where it was. Okay, so now we have the like the actual, and this is always like a step, or like as soon as I get to this point, I'm like, okay, I'm at like step one, which is from here to here, from here to here, and then from here to here. And I guess if you do the edge pieces first, then you're at that point pretty early. But like I said, I don't do the edge pieces first. Huh. Oh, and I'm sure this is part of her somewhere, but not sure exactly where. Oh, and then at I think I was mentioning this. Usually somebody else that I'm doing the puzzle with will do the edge pieces. So eventually there will be a point where I just get frustrated and finish off the edge pieces, usually. Okay, this guy has a giant face. His eyes over there. He also has giant hands. Goes there. Okay, that's his hand. And so I'm thinking should move the puzzle up. Okay. Okay. So now I'm kind of doing faces because there are only that's weird. So now I'm pulling everything that kind of looks like a face over here. Ooh, no. Okay, so... Oh, where's... Oh, there it is. So he's got... Is that it? Is that his... Oh, he's just got a really weird smile, but on the... In the actual in the actual puzzle, it makes it look more like a mustache. And I need to remember to get that piece off the floor. So yeah, I should do that now. Okay, so here's the piece that was. Here's the piece that I dropped on the floor. It's the hands. And this guy's hands right there. How many? One gun, 2 guns, 1 bow staff. Huh. So I would have thought that there were a lot more guns in here, but it looks like there are just 2. Oh, okay. And this is one of them. Oh, that's where... Is that... Okay. So it turns up right there. And this guy also... This guy right here also has a weird... mustachy smile. That isn't actually really a mustache. Here's the gun, and here's the other part of the gun. And the gun goes, oh, well, all the way over there. And, oh, interesting. Okay, and then I have this piece that's already part of the gun. That, and he's got his hand on the gun. Right there. And that's the other part of his hand. Oh, and that would go like right there. Okay. Okay. And then this orange of this guy's coat is kind of throwing me off because there are lots of stuff that kind of looks like him. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's her gun. Ooh, that's his face. And then where's the... Okay. And his face is kind of weird, so I'll wait on that. Nope. Yeah, so now we're getting to the point where having the edge pieces in place would be really beneficial, but I'm not ready quite yet to start doing edge pieces. Like with that as my goal. Okay, so that goes right there. Oh, and okay, that's there. That's his staff. So I think maybe the thing about edge pieces is like see how like these ones are all black. So I usually save the black ones for like the all solid ones for last. So that could be one reason why I'm taking so long with that. Okay, that's him. But not like that. Oh, that's this hand. And where is his face? So his hand, his face. That is so weird. Yeah, so it'll be way easier for me to put him together right here and then figure out where he goes once he's together, rather than the other way around, which would probably make more sense. Okay. Oh, so I guess I had just violated my rule on this one, which is usually I find the piece and then figure out where it goes in the puzzle. With this one I said, oh, well, there has to be something that looks like that somewhere. But don't, and here's the piece that I was telling you about, this one right here, that actually did end up having some purple on it, so that's interesting. Oh, and that's his ear. Wow, he's got a gigantic ear. Okay, these ones should be easy to find. Okay, and we have 6 minutes before my camera shuts off again. Oh, that's why. Because he was way further down than I thought. Okay, so oh, here it is. Okay, so the next one... Actually, the all black ones are probably the best next ones to do. Which means that I'll finally get all the edge pieces. This one's over here. Over here. Yeah, I think maybe I could do it upside down next time, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see after I watch my video if I like it upside down, or if I like it upside down, or sorry, if I like viewing it upside down, or if it was just weird, or what. And oh, right there. Okay, and I got all but 2 edge pieces. Okay, what's next? Okay. Blues. This one should be easy to find right there. Okay, and this one. It's part of somebody. Okay, there. So the blues next. So these ones are nice because they have a nice little pattern on each of them, so it makes it really easy to find where each of these go to. And oh, and I should probably tell a story or something, but let's see. So this should be somewhere easy to find. So now I'm looking for pieces with tiny bits missing on them, or like tiny bits of color, and trying to find those ones. That's what I usually do, is try to like change my perspective and find the pieces that connect somehow. And this one goes there. And then when it's a lot easier when we're left with just solid stuff later, or if like doing all the ones that fit in some way first. Okay, and so I think I got all of them. Oh, and if I'm right, my camera's going to turn off in 10 seconds. So I'll do the rest of this upside down. Okay, so my camera turned off and now it's back on. Much less disruptive than last time. And we're almost done. And I really like puzzles like this because there aren't any like vast seas of sky or ocean, or mountain, or just something where you just have to keep trying the pieces over and over and over again. So this puzzle I think is pretty enjoyable. It's probably pretty. Oh, and I should talk about like construction and that kind of thing, since a lot of what I reviewed on Amazon was puzzles. So, and then here's the last piece. This is the piece that's missing, and I think it was missing out of the box because I opened it, put it together on the same day, and okay, so minute and 28 seconds, and so I think the total. Well, I guess I can look at the total time on YouTube and figure that out. But here's the box, and then that's the puzzle. So one of the things is you can tell really cheap puzzles because you can't pick them up. So I always try to pick up the puzzle to see if it can be picked up. And so like doing this means that it's and it's still basically, oh, I should do it this way instead. So being able to pick up the puzzle like this, that means it's a pretty high quality puzzle. The dollar store puzzles, you can't do that. They fall apart, and obviously this isn't too together because some pieces fell off. And the next time it gets put together, then there might only be two pieces missing. So anyway, hopefully you like this. If you liked it, I'll make more of them. And that's my video. Thanks very much, everyone.